Hello viewers, welcome to Indian Americans of Irvine and Orange County Forum. We are back again with another video. In the last video, we informed you all about Proposition 14. Hope you found it informative enough to make a decision on your valuable vote. In today's video, we have all details on Proposition 15, which deals with tax on commercial and industrial properties for education and local funding initiative. Professor Praveen Sinha, who is a founder of this group, has information on Proposition 15. Let's listen to him.
Hi, everyone. Today we'll be talking about Proposition 15, Tax on Commercial and Industrial Properties for Education and Local Funding Initiative 2020. This will be on the ballot this coming November, and you'll be voting yes or no on it. A vote of yes means all commercial and industrial properties, except agricultural, will be taxed based on their market value instead of the purchase price. And if you vote no on it, property tax laws remain the same, and all the taxes will be based on the purchase price. Let's try to get a little sense of the background of this proposition. And to do that, you need to understand Proposition 13 that was passed in 1978. It was a landmark proposition which had the support of more than 2/3 of the Californians, and it had the effect of significantly reducing the property taxes paid by the individuals and the corporations. So let's try to see what they did. It basically limited the property tax to be 1% of the 1976 assessed value for existing properties, and for the purchase price for the properties that were sold. So basically the property taxes were 1% of the historical cost or the purchase price, whichever happens to be the case. It also went one step further by capping the future increases in property taxes to be no more than 2% per year, as long as the property was not sold. So in some sense, Proposition 15 that we are looking at is a partial repeal of Proposition 13, and this is only for the commercial real estate in California. Now, there is an exception to it. Small owners who have less than 3 million holdings in real estate will be exempt from the effect of this proposition. So let's try to understand what will it do. Will it bring in extra money, and if so, how much? The answer is it will bring in some extra money. Based on the state of California estimates, it will be between 8 billion to 12.5 billion. But keep in mind that these estimates were made in October 2019, which is during the pre-COVID era. Actual numbers are likely going to be much lower because of the current COVID-related crisis that we have, in which commercial real estate has been very badly hit. The next question is, where will this money go? First, the money will go to the state to supplement the decrease in revenue from the increased tax deductions. And that is estimated to be around $1 billion, give or take a little bit there, and depending on if the new tax laws change as well. But whatever is left after recouping those lost taxes, 60% of it will go to the local governments and special districts. So vast majority of this money is going to the local governments. 4.5% is going to community college, and about 35.6%, close to 1/3, slightly more than 1/3, is going to public schools, charter schools, and education office. To make sure that schools do receive some money, there is a minimum of $100 per full-time student that will be brought into each school because of this proposition. Okay, so let's move to the next part. How will it affect IUSD and our kids? Well, first and foremost, there's going to be no immediate funding increases, because this Prop 15, if passed, will be phased in by fiscal year 22-23, and will become fully effective only in the fiscal year 25-26. So it has a good amount of time to go before it will become fully effective, and the schools will start seeing that increased cash flow. Let's try to understand a little bit more about IUSD. It has got 36,000 students and it has an annual budget of $400 million. If we go with the minimum guaranteed funding, it will be $3.6 million, which is less than 1% of the budget of IUSD. So at the minimum level, it's very small. Let's look at the realistic scenario, and that is very difficult to predict because of the current COVID crisis and its effect on the real estate market, commercial real estate market specifically. A more realistic estimate is more like IUSD will receive 3% of the budget from the new revenues. And this should help them, but it is going to come at a cost because very small portion of it is coming to the school districts. Let's talk a little bit about the few concerns about this proposition. Like any tax, somebody has to pay for it. This cost will be borne by small businesses, mostly restaurant owners, and it will also be borne by the consumers because, for example, the rents are likely to go up for the tenants who have to make sure that they recoup portion of those increased taxes. You have to also keep in mind that the changes in regulation also change behavior of businesses. And it's very possible that some businesses may relocate or move out of the state of California, especially the big ones if the effect is significant. Third part, which has not been talked so much, is the fact that when you assess the value of the real estate, you need to have a complete bureaucracy to take care of that. So Prop 15 will create a huge bureaucracy to assess and manage challenges to real estate assessments. So it's going to be an ongoing process and it's not going to be pretty. I think there's also concern the school districts will have a budgeting problem because these funding will be strictly tied to the real estate market. When the market goes up, they'll get extra revenue. When they go down, they'll have significant shortfalls. And you will hear from the administration about the crisis they're facing almost every other year or whenever the real estate prices go down. So let's recap. In summary, Prop 15 will bring additional revenue for our schools, but it is slightly misleading. Biggest beneficiaries are the local governments who are getting 60% of the cut. School districts K through 12 will get less than 1/3 of the gross revenue after we take out the payments to the state for taxes lost. Impact on IUSD will be meaningful but small, which is going to be less than 1% to up to 3% of the annual budget. And again, finally, the last thing to remember, no benefits or no real benefits till 2025. I'm sure there are a lot more other questions that will be coming on the WhatsApp group, so we'll be talking about them there. Thanks for listening, and we will be continuing this conversation further. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor Sinha. Viewers, let us know your opinion on this video. If you have any comments or wish to watch our next video, please contact us on email at ia.irvine.oc@gmail.com. We will come up with another video soon. Until then, stay fit and stay informed.